Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your February 2016 General Tarotscope. It's Rena here. So, there's a lot of activity in your 10th house of career in the month of February, Taurus. The sun starts the month out in this house, and this means that perhaps you will get some accolades due to your career at some point in the first 3 weeks of February, if you already haven't gotten some at the end of January. And Mercury, likewise, will be going into this house around mid month after having retrograded at 1 degree of Aquarius back on January 5th and spending most of its time in retrograde in your ninth house of higher education and foreign travel and religion, philosophy. Perhaps some of you have been researching places that you want to travel to and maybe even had a trip postponed that you were planning on taking. But now things should start to speed up, and Mercury will leave its shadow at mid-month and progress forward, and that's terrific. Venus is in the ninth house at the beginning of February, goes into that career sector on the 16th of February. This is great for being appealing to potential bosses if you're looking for work, or for possibly getting some sort of monetary reward based upon your career. You may appear very charismatic to your boss or to other people that are viewing you at this time, especially when it relates to your career. The new moon is in this house of career on February 8th, and so this may indicate a new development in terms of your job. All month long, Mars will be in your 7th house of relationships. And I'm talking of the long-term variety. So be very careful about that, because there could be sparring that goes on between you and a partner, and a lot of bickering and a lack of harmony. But it can also mean that you're just really hot and heavy, and that you're very active during this time. It can also indicate an active lawsuits. And so if you're involved in any kind of legal endeavor, this may be a time when you see more movement on the issue. Jupiter is in your 5th house of creativity and children and love affairs. And this is really good for anyone who is looking for a partner, because you'll probably have plenty to choose from. It also can indicate a partner that is very lucky for you, so you might meet the person that you're destined to settle down with and who is very compatible for you. The North Node is also traveling in the sign of Virgo, so this is great for that special person in terms of your life path. It's a very serendipitous energy, and it's very helpful. And so enjoy it, because it makes a friendly angle to you being a fellow earth sign. There's a trine to your sun or to your rising sign, so that's terrific. And Saturn, the planet of discipline as well as the manifestation of things, is in your 8th house, which relates to other people's money, loans, debts, everything to do with the occult, with sex, death. So this could be a time when you get more serious about paying off past debts, and maybe you'll have a structure to be able to do so. We also have activity in the 5th house on the 22nd of February, when we have a full moon in the 5th house. So maybe you're going to be ending some creative project that you've been working on, or some of you might have a love affair that ends up really not going anywhere and you call it quits. But it could mean that you fall in love, because it could be somebody that you've already known, perhaps as a friend, and it suddenly dawns on you that you are in love with this person. So there are many manifestations of the full moon in the fifth house. It's actually a very fertile time for those people who want to get pregnant. So, Taurus, the card I picked for your current situation is the Queen of Pentacles. And because you're an earth sign and pentacles relate to the earth element, this could definitely be you. And this is you taking care of yourself and being self-sufficient and really enjoying life on your own. There's a reason for that, though, and I picked the Nine of Wands. And it's somebody who's had to set boundaries and maybe even have one final battle. Perhaps on the work front, you have had to deal with somebody that's been problematic, and it has led you to branch out on your own because you just couldn't see eye to eye with that person. And that would be why you are now the Queen of Pentacles, who is going it alone. It can also mean in relationships that you have had to kind of put up barriers for some reason, or that you have constructed barriers due to past hurts, and this is creating a sense of aloneness within you. Now, I just want to say that the Queen of Pentacles is not somebody who is sitting there and crying in her tea about not being with another person. She's actually very nurturing to herself and enjoying her alone time. So it's actually the opposite of that. The higher perspective is the Empress. And so I would say that in personal relationships, this is just reminding you about the feminine principle, because this is the Earth Mother energy, but it also just relates to the earthly version of the feminine principle, which is of sensuality, and making sure that if you are a business person, which the Queen of Pentacles can definitely be, that you do not lose sight of your femininity as a woman, and that you allow yourself to express both sides of your nature. If this is dealing with a relationship, it may be that you are trying to decide whether or not to have children at this time. Maybe you have a career and you feel a calling to become a mother. And so this card is just acknowledging that you have this side of you that is longing for that. And so perhaps if you can really tap into your intuition, you can decide whether this is a good time to start a family. I'll tell you, as I say, after around the 22nd of the month, there will be definite energy that is conducive for those women who are fertile to conceive. The advice is the Ten of Swords, which is some piece of work as of advice, because it's the card of betrayal and of hitting bottom. So if you have been kind of trying to stave off feelings of this very thing, if you've been in a relationship that you've been spinning your wheels in, and you've just been trying because you kind of are resisting coming to this point, it is better to just allow it to all just go to hell so that you can move on, because it's probably a case where you're propping something up that's no longer viable. And this could also apply on the job front. If you were that Nine of Wands that you had to kind of put up your defenses or even leave a company because of your treatment, and you have started on your own, you may have to grieve the process, or maybe there's still some backlash to come that you're kind of afraid to accept, especially if you haven't officially quit. And you're just going to have to kind of grin and bear it, because otherwise you're going to be maintaining this hopeless cause. And the Ten of Swords is kind of showing that there's an eventual hitting bottom that needs to happen, so better now than later. The card that crosses you is the Devil card. So for some of you, if this is a problematic relationship, you may have this kind of codependency or other type of addiction to the relationship that is causing you to stay in it even though it is toxic. And it could be on the sexual level, for instance, and you can't break away from it because you do have an attraction on the physical level, but you have to in order to clear the decks for something better to attract itself to you. It could be that you have some addiction to the money. If this is a career, maybe you're making a good amount of money, but the work environment is really horrible and it's affecting you emotionally or even physically, but you just are addicted to that money. Again, this is a card of overcoming those temptations in order to attract what is in your best interests. And the outcome is the Ace of Pentacles. So if this is a work situation, it could mean that you will get another job offer. So don't be afraid of that. And it could be that you will be starting your own business and you will get backing for that if you decided to go it alone. In personal relationships, it could be that you're starting a relationship with another earth sign. And so if you've been in a current relationship that is really wearing you down or wearing you out, when you break up with that person, then you will signal to the universe that you're ready for the new relationship to come in. So obviously this is a general reading, Taurus. If you'd like something tailored to you specifically using your natal birth chart as well as the tarot, please click on the link below and I have a list of services. Otherwise, take care of yourself and good luck in February. Bye.